Hey yo, football fans, it's another great year. Fantasy football fiends, grab your beer. Giving you the best draft tips for all your picks. Starts and sits to the waiver wire fix. From my drafts galore to stats that's hardcore. Triple F does it all, have y'all screaming more. So sit back, relax, let the experts prevail. JT Magnum, SiggyGuns never fail.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Football Fiends, and I'm JT Magnum, and this is
SiggyGuns.
And this episode, we're going to bring you our top 25 wide receivers who we think is the cream of crop of the NFL this year in fantasy football. And SiggyGuns is going to start us off with his top 5.
All right, starting off top 5. Number 1, Calvin Johnson. 2, AJ Green. 3, Dez Bryant. 4, Brandon Marshall. And 5, Julio Jones. And I'll go ahead and talk about Julio Jones for a little bit. I have him ranked high, obviously higher than Roddy White. Reason why is because I noticed last year, towards the end of the season, Matt Ryan has started looking at him more in the red zone, targeting him more. So I just think that full season, hopefully healthy, he should have a very huge year this year, and I expect big things in Atlanta's offense. So Julio Jones has cracked the top 5 in my opinion.
Okay. For my top 5, I have number 1, Calvin Johnson. Number 2, AJ Green. Number 3, Brandon Marshall. Number 4, Julio Jones. And number 5, Dez Bryant. And I'll talk about Brandon Marshall. He's one of those receivers that's always consistent. He always gets you 100 catches. He always gets you like those, 100 yards almost, every single game. At least he almost gets there. Or he's good in those points per reception leagues, that's for sure. But if you're playing in a standard league, he's still going to get you a lot of points because they're going to throw the ball to him. It just seems to always throw the ball to him. So he's a go-to guy pretty much, and he could be at the top right near Calvin Johnson and AJ Green. So any one of those 5 are probably going to get you a lot of points regardless. But Brandon Marshall is one that always stands out for me.
Yeah, I agree completely. And then on my 6 through 10, Andre Johnson 6, Demaryius Thomas 7, Larry Fitzgerald 8, Roddy White 9, Victor Cruz 10. And I'll go ahead and talk about Larry Fitzgerald. Now, a lot of people have given up hope on him. Certainly, he's always been a top 5 receiver ever since he's been in the league. But now that he has Carson Palmer, I actually think that this could be a high risk, or a low risk, high reward kind of draft pick if you do get him as your number 1. Because I got a feeling that with Carson Palmer, the chemistry I think is going to be there right away. Palmer wants to have a receiver to throw to. Fitzgerald's always wanted to have a quarterback to throw to him, and now this is just a match that I think is going to be good for Fitzgerald. That's why I have him in the top 10.
Okay. And my 6 through 10, we got Andre Johnson, number 6, number 7, Wes Welker, number 8, Roddy White, number 9, Larry Fitzgerald, and number 10 is Demaryius Thomas. Now, I have 2 Broncos there, but I'll talk about Wes Welker. He's gonna do what he always does, and that's catch the ball. He gets you 8-10 catches a game, it seems like. And now that he has Manning throwing the ball with that kind of high-paced offense that they're gonna run with Demaryius Thomas on the outside and Eric Decker on the outside and Welker running the slot, it's constant passes going to be thrown his way from Manning, and I just see him getting a lot of catches and a lot of yards as usual, barring some injury or anything.
Now, certainly, if that's something we probably forgot to mention. If this was a points perception league, I would certainly have Wes Welker a lot higher than what I would have him in right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm by a standard draft right now, but yeah, definitely Wes Welker, if it was PPR, top 10 for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so 11 through 15, right? All right, that's what I'm doing, 11 through, yeah. Vincent Jackson, I got 11. Randall Cobb, now that Greg Jennings is gone, at 12. Mike Wallace, 13. Jordy Nelson, 14. And DeSean Jackson, 15. I'm going to talk about DeSean Jackson. A lot of people are sleeping on him in drafts. We did a mock draft, and I think nobody wanted him. I wanted to take him up. Michael Vick is back. He's a starter. He just freshly announced, or they just freshly announced that he's the starting quarterback. And I think in his high-powered offense, DeSean Jackson is going to be the benefactor of it, and I think he's going to have a stud season this year.
That's understandable. My 11 through 15 is Jordy Nelson, Vincent Jackson, Randall Cobb, Victor Cruz, and Torrey Smith. Victor Cruz could actually be higher up if he's healthy. I know he got hurt the other day, but I don't think it's anything major. But I'm going to talk about Torrey Smith at 15. He's one of those players that he had a kind of not really a breakout season. He had a great season last year, but he had Anquan Bolden on the other side. But this is his year where he's the number 1 receiver. This is his year where it's his time to shine, his time to take over. And he's got some other speed on the outside with Jacoby Jones, so it's going to be hard to cover like the 2 of them. So I see him getting a lot of balls thrown his way and getting a lot of good yardage. And if you're in one of those leagues where you get one of those touchdowns for long receptions, Torrey Smith's your guy for that. So he catches a lot of long balls. So we'll see what happens during the year. But Torrey Smith, I kind of like him this year to get at least 1,000 yards.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. For my 16 to 20, I do have him in there. I have Marques Colston 16, Torrey Smith 17, Wes Welker 18, Reggie Wayne 19, and Steve Smith all reliable at 20. And I'll go ahead and talk about Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne, I also think, has a lot of potential to be higher. He did certainly prove all the people wrong whenever people were doubting Andrew Luck. You know, his career kind of got a little bit of a revival. Certainly, he was catching a lot of balls in PPR leagues. He was dominating. He was getting a good 7 to 10 catches a game, it seemed. And then on top of that, he was getting yards, and they were looking at him a lot also in the red zone. And I think Reggie Wayne will continue that. Certainly looks like he's going to keep on going. Doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon, now with Andrew Luck there.
Yeah, and my 16 through 20, I have Marques Colston, I have Mike Wallace, Hakeem Nicks, Dwayne Bowe, and Reggie Wayne. I want to talk about why I have Dwayne Bowe at number 19. This is a guy that's been a fantasy stud. Like, he comes on either early or late or, you know, throughout, but he's been a really good fantasy player. But the reason why I have him at 19, Alex Smith. He's never had a 1,000-yard receiver. And he doesn't throw the ball to receivers. He throws the ball to backs. He throws the ball to fullbacks. He throws the ball to tight ends. He never throws the ball to the wide receiver hardly, and he's never had one. So I don't see Dwayne Bowe as getting that many looks. I don't see him getting that many balls thrown his way. I don't see him doing that much this year. And I literally put him at 19 only because I think that hopefully Alex Smith can get him the ball.
Yeah, I think Alex Smith, if he's smart, he would give him the ball. Now, my 21 through 25 might be a little bit different than what you probably got on your list. Ty Hilton 21, Dwayne Bowe 22, Cecil Shorts 23, Hakeem Nicks 24, and 25 I put in Stevie Johnson after we were talking about him earlier. I'll go ahead and talk about Ty Hilton. I know I just talked about Reggie Wayne having a great season, and Ty Hilton, though, has been having an awesome preseason with Andrew Luck, and he certainly there were some games in there here and there where he was just dominating. And I got a feeling now that Andrew Luck has this would be his year where he's going to be probably a little bit smarter, probably a little bit more aggressive. And I think Ty Hilton would be the guy on the other side of the ball to be getting all the catches also. So I think Ty Hilton is set up for a pretty good season, especially if they start paying attention more on Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, he's a really good receiver. He's had a good preseason so far too.
Yep.
My 21 through 25 is Steve Smith and James Jones, Pierre Garcon, and DeSean Jackson, and my 25th is actually Stevie Johnson. And I want to talk about Pierre Garcon. Pierre Garcon has RG3 thrown to him, and if you remember last year, he was a beast. He was doing really well until he got hurt. Then he came back and he was still doing really well. So I don't see him as slowing down. I don't see him slowing down at all. And RG3, I know his leg is, you know, whatever, but he looks good. He says he's ready. So if he says he's ready, I have nothing but faith in him to throw that ball to Pierre Garcon. So we'll see what happens. But I think Pierre Garcon is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver as well this year.
I agree. That's our top 25. Now, certainly, you know, there's a lot of the receivers this year, in my opinion, are deep. I mean, there's some guys we left off. Anquan Bolden, we left off Greg Jennings, Miles Austin, a bunch of names that were last year top 15 picks. And we didn't even talk about Eric Decker either. So the looks like it's going to be a deep wide receiver list this year. Certainly some, you know, cause for discussions on maybe some sleeper picks. But that wrap up the top 25. Don't forget to leave comments below. Tell us who you think should be in there. And thank you for watching Fantasy Football Fiends.
All right. Peace out, guys.
See you.